So it says install the camshaft chain tensioner. Camshaft, okay, we installed that. And then check the valve clearances. That's the last thing to do. And then you got to go to the valve clearance adjustment. So let's go find out. Okay, so here it is at periodic maintenance section 2-15 is engine top end valve clearance inspection. It's in periodic maintenance because it is periodic maintenance. It's something you should be doing. So valve clearance must be checked and adjusted when the engine is cold. Okay, well it's cold right now. It is room temperature right now. It's a lovely day in San Jose, by the way, to be working on the engine. Remove the fuel tank. Okay, I already did that. Valve adjusting caps, they're already off. Camshaft chain cover. Okay, yeah, so these are the covers right here we're talking about. They're already off because we were working on the engine. Turn the crankshaft bolt clockwise with the wrench. Make sure the inlet valve opens. You know what? We didn't touch anything, so we didn't touch anything there. It should be fine. So, but make sure it says there's a T in the window. The T bisects the line, and there's actually a little pointer in there too, so they made this engine really easy to work on, you know. So there's the T I'm talking about. There we go. So make sure that bisects it. There's a little pointer in the 6 o'clock. It's kind of hard to see from this angle. And then make sure that your pointer here is lined up with the little notch here, and I think it is. So we are at top dead center. It's time to check this dealie. Yeah. Okay, so okay, using a thickness gauge, measure the valve clearance between adjustment screw and valve stem. So I can tell you 100% that we need to adjust this, because remember I loosened it just in case it would be too damn tight. Maybe we shouldn't have, I don't know, but it doesn't matter because we installed a new camshaft. But it definitely is not too tight, so so we're gonna have to readjust this. So we're gonna want to. So the easy way to do this is to go for the specs. We're going to want to pick the middle one, I guess. Yeah, let's put it somewhere in the middle. It's fine with me. Generally you want it looser, actually. So you want it looser or tighter. But the spec is 0.04 to 0.08 millimeters for the inlet, and the exhaust is 0.11 to 0.15 millimeter. Or in inches, whichever one you want to use. What we're gonna do is we're gonna set it to the loosest spec, so we don't have to keep on tightening it. Or just in the middle is fine. The middle or the looser spec. Your call, dude. It doesn't really matter to me as long as you're in between these values, you're okay. So. All right, so I had a little bit of a predicament, but I've rectified it. So the clearances are like super tight on this bike, super dupery tight. This engine just doesn't get that hot, I guess, or something. It doesn't. It's really tight clearances. So I got the 0.005. See, 0.005 inches. That's in between the 0.004 and 0.006. So we're gonna go with that one. I'm gonna do 0.005. Now the thing is, my feeler gauge that's as low as it goes, 0.005. I have nothing smaller than that, so I had to bust out a different feeler gauge that had it, and we're going to use 0.003. And I only have 2 on this one. I can either do 0.002 or 0.003, so I think I'm going to do the 0.003. We're going to go wider. So we're going to go wider on the inlet, and then the exhaust is going to be it's going to be like kind of in the middle towards the. Yeah, 0.005. It's going to be in the middle is where it's going to be. So, all right, let's go do this. I've done this before, so it's no big deal. So the cheater way to do this, we're doing the inlet, right? Let's do the inlet first. This is 0.003. Is what you want to do is put this in here and then tighten it already. Start tightening it while it's in there, and then that'll get you in the ballpark. So that's what I want to do. Okay, here we go. I need, oh yeah, if you remember correctly, it uses a 9mm freaking wrench. It's a weird size. So here we go. I'm going to try to do this from the other side so I don't get in the way. So what we're going to do, let's just loosen it first. I definitely know it needs to be loosened. Okay, so we're gonna do, actually I have a tool for this too. Aha, I have this 3D printed tool that actually moves, yeah, the little tappet, the adjuster. Okay, so what we're gonna do is let's open this up, and we're gonna stick the feeler gauge in there. Okay, and we're just gonna keep on tightening this bad boy until it stops, pretty much. Okay, nope, still going. Okay, still going. Just kind of wiggle it every once in a while. That's still super loose. Okay. Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Okay. Tighten it some more. Okay. So now we're getting pretty close. So I'm just gonna keep on slipping it in there. Okay, that's too much. It won't go in anymore. Okay. So I'm gonna back it off a little bit until it does go in. Okay, that feels good right there. And you just want it to put it in there with a slight drag. Slight drag. Okay, that thing looks like, that looks like it's a little too much. I'm gonna back off just a tiny bit. Okay. Okay. Make sure it doesn't, there's no play at all. Doesn't seem like it. Okay, so that seems like where we want to be. And then what I'm gonna do is tighten it. We're going to tighten it, and then we're going to try to hold it in place with this tool at the same time. And believe me, when I say you want this tight, you do not want this to come loose. Okay. It may get tighter when you tighten it. So the reason. So if it does, you're going to make sure you check it again. Okay, that seems good. So while it's in there, jiggle it around and make sure it doesn't jiggle around. You want no gap when it's in there. Right now there's a gap. See? No gap. Okay, that should be good. I think that's good. Good. It didn't move at all. I want to tighten it again. So I don't think I've ever I don't think I've ever had to adjust the the valves on this bike. I think I did once, and I screwed up because I did it the wrong way. Okay, just go. Is this moving? Oh, it is moving still. Okay, shit. Well, fuck. Oh no, the tool is moving. The tool actually, it kind of spins on its own. Okay, so let's double check again. Okay. Just make sure you can get it in there. Okay, there's just a little bit of resistance. And when I put it in there, there shouldn't be really any movement. There's still movement. I think I loosened it a little bit. Yeah, there's play now. It's hot. I want to tighten it again. Oh. Yeah, let's just do this again. Okay, so yeah. So you kind of got the idea. That's what I'm just gonna do. So I feel like I might want to tighten that up a little bit because we went with the looser spec. So it's actually looser than the looser spec now. So that's what you just got to keep on doing. You got to keep on playing with it because when you tighten the locking nut, it may change the distance, the tappet adjuster. It might change the adjustment. So So you got to keep on checking it. When you got it, when you know you got it tight, just check it again to double check. And if it's too loose or too tight, then go do it again. So I'm not. So I'm going to do that for both of them. I'm not going to show you the exhaust. It's the same process, different spec for the exhaust. The exhaust is a little wider because it expands more. And yeah, and it's going to be harder to get video on that side of the bike anyway. So that's how you do it in a nutshell. So it's pretty. That's a pretty routine task for this bike. That's really one of the easiest maintenance things you can do on this bike is adjust the valves. If you know what you're doing. All right, so I hope you guys learned something. I'm gonna go adjust the valves, and then after that, it's just pretty much put the covers back on, and the engine is done. All the engine stuff is done. So until then, he's Mick out. Okay, he's Mick here. So I got done adjusting the intake and exhaust valves. I think they're pretty close to where they should be. Much better than it was before. It was like super loose because we loosened it. Yeah, you know what? We probably shouldn't have even loosened it at all. It probably would have been fine. But anyway, so these are all the tools that I use. I had to use 2 different feeler gauges. I used the .005, and the exhaust was so hard to do. It's just not a lot of space back there, man. There's not a lot of space back there. It's hard to get that feeler gauge in there, you know. The inlet is a lot easier. The intake is a lot easier. I'll tell you that now. If anything, it's like I set it to the middle gap, and I set it so like you can feel it just a little bit move a little bit with the feeler gauge in there, and then if you were to go to next size up, it would probably fit like too tight, you know. So it's kind of in between the loosest spec and like the middle spec, so that's fine. That's why they have those, you know, approximate sizes, you know, the gap sizes. Yeah, so that was the case for the exhaust. The exhaust, we put the .005 in, and so I could get it in there, you know, and I could wiggle it a little bit, but it was, you know, and then I could get this is a .15 or .006 inches, and I could get it in there, but it's like it's pretty hard to get in there, you know. How you want it is you want there to be a slight drag when it gets in there. You can feel a little bit of a you know, a drag in there, but not you don't want it super tight. So I think we got it where we want it, so hopefully. And then what I did is I torqued it after, and I checked it again. So the torque for the adjustments locking nut is 78 inch-pounds. It's quite a bit actually. So yeah, you do have to tighten it quite a bit. Yeah. So, and then we just put the valve cap bolts back on. Valve cap adjusting bolts, and that is also 78 inch-pounds, so I won't be touching this. All right, let's go do it. Last part, and then the engine is totally done. Just got to put the covers back on. That's okay. All. So I'm going to install the valve cap adjustment caps back on. It's pretty straightforward. Just put them back on, and then torque them to 78 inch-pounds. Yeah, there's no kind of Loctite on this, so I wouldn't put Loctite on. So I marked it, so I marked these so it says I and it goes up, so I want to install it like that. But I think you can install it any way you want. Just make sure that it's clean and you got the O-ring in there and it's not damaged. So, all right. So. Okay, line them up. Okay, so it's kind of dark, but let's crack them. Okay. Just hand tightening it first. Okay. So I got it set to about 80. Oh, but that's this is the 9mm. We want the 8mm. Or the 10. Okay, sorry, it's a little dark, but I'm going to torque it to about 80 inch-pounds. That's about, that was what, 78? Yeah, 78, so it's about 80. That's cool. It's an 8mm. Okay. 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 Just gonna do the inlet cover now. This one actually has to be a little longer. Okay, this one the frame kind of gets in the way, so I'm gonna use an extension. Just tightening it till it stops. Okay. Let's do this one again. Okay. Okay. Let's double check. Alright, that should be good. Alright, so last thing is the cam chain, the cam sprocket cover. Okay, so it doesn't tell you what to put any of the rest of the covers back on. It basically says to put these covers back on and you're done. I'm like, what the heck, for real? But anyway, so it said the last step was we went back to where we are on the camshaft, is to check the valve clearance, and we just did that. So there's nothing else. So now we just basically put the covers back on. I'm going to go to the engine diagram to get those specs right here. Okay, so the cover number 3 camshaft cover bolts is 78 inch-pounds, the same. Okay, so I'm trying to do this by the book, right? So there's your camshaft sprocket cover right there. I'm gonna put it back on. Hopefully everything is all on time, but it's fine. I'm gonna clean this a little bit. Actually, it's a little dirty. Let's get some dust particles on it. Make sure it's nice and clean when you put it back on. There should be like some oil on the O-ring to help it, glide in there. I think it's okay though. This one still has oil in it, so it should be fine. What you might want to do is clean the surfaces here. Just make sure there's no dirt in there. Some crud hanging out around here, if you want, you can put some grease around the surface where it seals. You can do that. Got some dielectric grease here. I'm just gonna smear that around here. It's quite a surface area to cover though, so I have to use quite a bit actually. Okay, that should be good. And there should be oil on the O-ring already anyway, so unless you wiped it all off. I don't think you could fully wipe it off. So we're going to put it back on. Basically, you just slide it back on. And if you lubed it right, it should just slide right in. Okay. And if it's not lined up, line it up, but I think it is. You can kind of rotate it a little bit. I'm going to put the bolts back in. Okay, so Hades and Omega lost the bolts, so I misplaced the bolts. I didn't lose them. I'm sure they're in this garage somewhere. We're gonna do next. Oh, there they are. There are. Okay. I don't know why they're over here. Put this right here. I thought I lost the bolts, but I didn't. Okay. Let's get a little 8mm. Okay, go get our torque wrench. Torque wrench here. Go torque that bad boy up. Okay. 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 And okay. Alright. It's all done. And I'm gonna put these covers back on. Just clean them up just in case some kind of dirt got on it. Okay. There's no way we can really torque this, so just put it back on. The O-ring, it seems like it's kind of loose too, like it's wanting to fall off. Okay, just make sure the O-ring don't fall off. I'm just going to use my fingernail for now, okay? And then this is the top one. I gotta get some bling bling ones, man. Some fancy looking ones. I know they sell fancy looking ones. It's just a cover, but You gotta glam up your bike, you know, if you're on the racetrack. Alright. Maybe you want to make sure that's clean. Probably just threw some dirt in there. Okay, put this back. It's not going in. Why don't you want to go back in, buddy? Okay. Alright. Alright, let me get some tools to snug them real quick. I think it's a 14. Yeah, it's a 14. Okay, just tighten that. Doesn't have to be super tight, man. Okay, should be fine. Snug. This cover back on. Oh, oh. Oh, crap. That's good. That's good. So hopefully it doesn't open up. I'm gonna suck a bunch of dirt in there. I don't think it'll come out. Okay, so that's it. We're done. That's it. The engine is done. It's all buttoned up. So the whole engine assembly is completely done. We got the camshaft, the piston, the cylinder, everything is all back together. All that's left is we got to put the carb, the exhaust pipe back in, and then put the bike back together. So these are all the parts we got left. Oh yeah, we got to put the bracket for the head, and all that stuff. So that'll be the next video, and then we'll fire it up. So I know we got to put the spark plug in too. I got some new spark plugs over here, so I figured new engine. Let's install new spark plug. The other old spark plug looked pretty beat up. So all right, so that's the end of it. So in this video we did all the camshaft stuff. This video was all the camshaft stuff. Like I said, we installed the camshaft, the rocker arms and the rocker shafts, the retaining plate, the little needle pin, the retaining plate, and then we adjusted the valves, and then we adjusted the valves. Oh yeah, no, we installed the sprocket. We installed the sprocket, we retimed it, and then we adjusted the valves, and we put all the covers back on. And that's it. There it is. Engine's all there. So yeah, I will probably change the oil after we break the engine in. What I'm planning to do is, if it does run, if it runs, we're gonna try to heat cycle it every day. I'm just gonna start it up, ride it for a little bit around the block, and then let it cool down. And we'll go over the break-in procedure. There's a break-in procedure in the book, so that we'll try to follow. All right, so that's it. Camshaft installed. So the next video will focus on putting the rest of the bike back together, and that shouldn't take too long. Half an hour tops. All right, let's make out.